now you miss Wendy. You said no one can ever do what you and Wendy did. Now you're saying nobody's ever gonna make magic like us. Nobody. Is Sharina watching the video? Does Sharina know you're making this video saying that nobody's gonna ever do what you and Wendy have done? It was classic. What happened to your baby mama?
Kevin Hunter should probably do something to prevent Sharina from leaving him after he just lost the case he filed against Wendy Williams. The judge's decision was actually in favor of Wendy, which means that Kevin and Sharina's extravagant lifestyle is already being threatened because, come on, everything they currently have is all thanks to Wendy. They survived all those years because of the alimony that Wendy is giving them. But now with the result of the case, things would start to get very shaky between Kevin and Sharina for sure. When Kevin and Wendy were still together, fans have already pointed out that Kevin might just be after Wendy's money. That is why he was staying with her. They weren't wrong though. They even called him names, saying that he's just a gold digger who's trying to take credit for Wendy's fame and success. Anyway, Wendy's got the money and Kevin has nothing without her. If not for Wendy's wealth, Sharina would not even try to be with him and settle as a mistress. I bet that I'm not the only one who thinks of that, right? Sharina even pressured Kevin before to divorce Wendy. Of course, Kevin was not able to do that knowing that he will be nothing without her. He would instantly become broke if he did that. Sharina must have realized eventually that Kevin would not be able to spoil her the way he did if not for Wendy's money, so she stayed as his mistress and their affair lasted for more than 10 years.
I don't know how they're raising the daughter Journey, who's almost 2 years. I think she's 2, like next month or something. Wow. That's not my problem. I know that sure my child, my alimony for all 3 of them is on time every month.
Imagine Wendy putting up with all those years knowing that Kevin was cheating on her with Sharina. That must have been a lot, but as we know, she just kept quiet while the affair was going on, but she certainly exposed a lot about them when she decided to divorce Kevin. Wendy even revealed that Sharina was not the first girl that Kevin cheated with. And now that she's no longer giving alimony to Kevin, it seems like Kevin is already worrying about how he can continue to support Sharina's lavish lifestyle because if he would not be able to provide for her, she will come running away from him one way or another. Knowing that he gave everything that Sharina wants even when he was still married to Wendy made her used to getting everything that she wants from Kevin, even though it was clear that they would not be able to have any of that if not for Wendy in the first place. People are even speculating that Sharina was behind Kevin's decision to file the case against Wendy with regard to the alimony. Remember when Kevin bought Sharina a house? I bet they've heard about this because Wendy even talked about it when she left Kevin. Not only did he buy Sharina a house when he was still together with Wendy, but he also invested in her businesses. He also enrolled her to be a massage therapist, but none of the businesses that she started became successful. So instead of finding more opportunities to look for a decent job, both her and Kevin just decided to continue leeching off of Wendy. Sharina must have celebrated a lot when Wendy decided to divorce Kevin, and then their divorce settlement agreement required Wendy to give Kevin alimony. But before we get deeper into the video, if you love Wendy Williams and want to know more about what would happen to Kevin and Sharina, then make sure that you subscribe to our channel right away. I will always let you in on some of the most spicy and juicy stuff about these people.
It's not still her money when you separate assets and you separate companies and you separate marital property and you decide to sign off on something.
We've got a lot to talk about.
A situation over the 12 years that I've been here entertaining you on television. Welcome to Hot Topics, Sharina Hudson. Getting out of my car with my money. Good morning, Journey. She'll be almost, I think she'll be 3 next month.
Now going back to our video, it is so obvious that Kevin was really into Sharina to be in that affair for so long and then continue their relationship after he got divorced from Wendy. People possibly would not hate them and their relationship so much if they left Wendy alone. But ever since the divorce, Kevin always made it a point to include her in all the drama. He would have these interviews and will always include Wendy's name and try to say that he was behind her success when everybody knows that is not true. Additionally, Sharina, being the mistress and the one who played a huge part in the falling out of Wendy's marriage, have thrown shades on Wendy on her Instagram account after Wendy exposed both of them. Come on, they should have known that it was coming considering that they did Wendy very dirty. Of course, she was mad and hurt when she found out that Sharina was pregnant. That was the last straw for her. Nothing was holding her back, and besides, she could say whatever she wanted and talk about her feelings about what happened because she was involved in that relationship. Maybe if they did not cheat on her, she would not expose them. Many have also been saying this for a while now, that Kevin and Sharina should just find a job instead of relying on Wendy for financial support. If it was not as obvious before, then now it is crystal clear that they want to extort more money from Wendy because of the case that Kevin filed against Wendy. I mean, they were able to benefit so much from the alimony that Wendy gave Kevin in the past months that they did not feel the need to find another source of income to support their new family.
I mean, I had to, and all right, we were married for almost 22 years. We were together for 25 years. I don't regret the day of meeting him. I don't regret putting up with him for all 25 years. And that has nothing to do with him having this baby or him having this side girl for almost 15 years.
Wendy even talked about how she was always on time in sending them the monthly alimony pay. But now that Wendy found a loophole in their agreement, she would certainly leverage the situation to finally get away from both Kevin and Sharina for good. If Sharina ever leaves Kevin, do you guys think he would stop pushing this case to get more money from Wendy? I would love to know, so comment your thoughts down below. I mean, if we're in Wendy's shoes, we certainly do not want anything to do with our ex-husband and his mistress. To think that Kevin made all these claims about his current situation just because Wendy was no longer sending him alimony is so hilarious. He even tried to make himself look broke and act as if he's in a really dire situation. People almost believed him until he decided to hire these new high-value lawyers. In the case that he filed, he accused Wendy of breaching their contract. He claimed that because of that, he was already behind on most of his bills and that he will soon lose his home if this continues. He can't even pay for car insurance and that he had to undergo a surgery but would not be able to do all that without Wendy's money. Some of you might be confused if Wendy is even allowed to just suddenly stop sending money to Kevin. And if she can do that, then why does she not do it sooner? Well, it was stated in the document that they signed that if Wendy's contract with the show is cancelled or not renewed, then Kevin agrees that the severance pay is subject to modification or even termination. So to cut the story short, then yes, Wendy had the opportunity to be free from sending alimony to Kevin, especially now that she's not getting any compensation from the Wendy Williams show anymore. Many of us have been fans of the show and we love all the teas that have been spilled during that show, but it came to an end and it was not the best news for most of us. But it played out to be an advantage for Wendy that Kevin's lawyers did not see before. To say that Kevin was mad about what Wendy did is an understatement. Wendy not only threatened their lifestyle, but she also put a huge crack in Kevin and Sharina's relationship, and we're all here for it.
So, where do you see Wendy going from here?
We're gonna keep talking about Wendy.
That's the last question. Where do you see Wendy going from here?
I see her excelling. As long as she recognizes what's really going on and takes time to herself, she should be fine.
Well, do you really think that Sharina will stay with Kevin if he no longer has money? Well, I don't think so. But since the judge has decided to dismiss Kevin's request to continue receiving alimony pay from Wendy, it does not mean that this is the end of this drama. That is because Kevin can still take his case to mediation, which I think he would do. He would certainly exhaust all the opportunities that he would get to get more money from Wendy and not work a day in his life again. Think about how he never got another job after Wendy had fired him as a producer in the Wendy Williams show. Maybe Sharina would stay with Kevin if he can reassure her that he could negotiate the terms of this alimony with Wendy. That is why many of us are also thinking that he would not let go of this opportunity because he also knows that he can no longer keep Sharina if he does not have any money. Besides, the judge also dismissed his request for Wendy to pay for his attorney fees. Now he has to pay for these new lawyers that he just hired. Maybe he thought that it would be Wendy's responsibility, but it totally backfired on him. This dude does not think his decisions through before he makes a move, huh? It is so obvious with how he handles the situation. And to think that they are still not leaving Wendy alone after all those years could be so frustrating for Wendy. For sure, she just does not want to be involved with them anymore. Fans and supporters are just wishing that these two would let Wendy recover because they already made her go through a lot of things. And if Sharina really does decide to leave Kevin just because he no longer has money, then Kevin should have considered the possibility even before. That will just prove that she's a gold digger and Kevin is really not that different from her. So whatever's happening with their relationship is a clear sign that they should pay for the consequences of their actions. They chose to do this, so they've got to deal with this as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out these videos.